because I already paid for cable is $30. So I was like,
What's the down and up, if you don't mind saying?
it's 100. No, it's 100 up,
100 up,
500 down.
500 down.
Wow, holy crap, that's amazing.
It doesn't matter. 500 down is totally unimportant.
It doesn't.
No. It's like the 100 up is amazing. You know what I mean?
It would be if between the hours of 5 and 10 p.m. there wasn't an apartment complex filled with other people using the internet, thus negating the speed.
Yeah,
I think I get maybe like 10 up during those hours. I'm like,
that's my max. My max is 10 up.
You live in the most populated country in the the most populated state in the country too. So I mean, I imagine that the servers are just overloading from just them sharing a repeat.
It's a shit show. My apartment complex is a shit show when it comes to internet. It's so bad. I can't even handle it. Like,
mine's always been pretty good. Like my business class here has been really good. My business class in Alabama was horrible.
You have business class, Maggie?
Yeah.
Ooh,
of course I got business class.
It's your priority.
This money throwing out the cash.
Hey man, you know.
Hello everybody and welcome to week 4 of Star Wars: The Forgotten. After a couple of weeks of no shows, we are back. It's good to be back. Thanks for everybody for coming back. I kind of just want to get right into it because we've been gone for a couple weeks and we need a refresh.
No one cares about us. Let's get to the show.
Exactly. Who gives a shit about anybody else?
What? Where'd my chat go?
Where'd my chat?
They left. No one gives. You heard what I said.
There it is. I clicked on the little arrow at the top and it removes the chat.
There's a little arrow at the top?
Yeah, in the top right, next to subscribe. You click it.
Oh, okay. And it just makes it go away.
Yeah.
Well, that might not be a bad thing. Depending.
I disagree. I love my chat.
I have
If you see a lot of everybody, just ignore that, Grendon.
Everyone. That's from yesterday's show.
Yeah, everyone. That's right. Just blame Maggie, but ignore that. So.
Why blame me? You started it. Let's be honest, Delric. Your character, your NPC started it, and we just went. Me and Bear just went with it.
That's good. What are you eating? Because it looks like chocolate.
The office. The office. They went grocery shopping in the office and bought the craziest food. This is a Oreo cookie Pop-Tart. It is
Oreo cookie Pop-Tart.
Super gross. I'm really hungry and I don't care.
Oh my god.
I don't give a shit. It's not good at all. And I don't give a shit. I'm starved. I literally have gone from podcast to podcast to podcast today. I haven't had time to leave. I don't care. I am gonna eat it. It's gross, but I don't give a shit.
What podcast was today?
Co-optional was a little bit earlier.
Co-optional's Thursdays? I thought that was Tuesdays. But we pushed it off
because I was out of town.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
So I've just been like bopping between podcasts, and and then the minute we're done here, I'm gonna go see a late showing of Lego Batman. So I'm straight up just like living in a world of junk food and regret today. So fuck it.
No, you will not regret. I hear that movie's amazing.
I heard it's gonna be great.
Yeah,
and then tomorrow's John Wick 2, so
yep.
And then the day after that, you can go see 50 Shades Darker.
Okay, so let's start the show.
I'm just
Hell
saying.
yeah,
You
I'll
might
be
have
seeing that one.
exactly hit all 3.
Star Wars: The Forgotten, brought to you by Pop-Tarts. All right.
By the way,
I'll take a
So is there
Pop-Tart
going to be a
sponsorship.
love scene in this episode too, Delric?
What was that?
I said, is there going to be a love scene in this episode too, Delric?
We did not intentionally go with the Valentines.
Look, we got our love scene on episode 1 with you and the old man.
Well, I don't know.
Did someone say love scene?
He might come back.
The Wookiee love scene. Perfect.
Oh.
Pop-Tarts.
Lot of broken bones.
They
It's gonna be an
have,
hour of us slowly
This is
describing
chaos.
how we shave the Wookiee.
Uh-huh. Go ahead, Krendor. What do you got?
They have Dunkin' Donuts Pop-Tarts.
What?
Dunkin' Donuts?
I'm pretty sure we have those
Yeah.
in the office. Because
No.
we have
Nobody likes Dunkin' Donuts.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
over there in the like commissary area.
Yeah.
I have seen Pop-Tart, Oreo Pop-Tarts, Hot Fudge Pop-Tarts, like just crazy shit. Things that should not be
They
in
got
Pop-Tart
chocolate
form.
mocha and vanilla latte.
I'm not okay with
Pop-Tarts are for you.
It's not good. It tastes not good. But I can't help it because it's just
He's like, I'm so hungry.
oh,
I hate this.
They've been s'mores Pop-Tarts for what, over 10 years, and even those are garbage. So
Well, Pop-Tarts in general are...
classic, like strawberry, blueberry, basic. Get it done.
They got maple bacon and
Blueberry.
lemonade.
Maple
raspberry.
Maple bacon?
bacon and wait, and
I don't
pink
need that.
lemonade? Pink lemonade.
Pink lemonade, you might as well vomit in your
Yeah.
mouth. and just get it over
Don't
with.
want any of that
Did you
shit.
say bacon Pop-Tart? Let me Google this real
Maple bacon Pop-Tart.
quick. Whatever.
Crendor cut.
Bacon Pop-Tart.
Crendor cut.
Can we take a moment?
Maple
Hang
bacon
on. I got a mod Crendor because Crendor just tried to
Take
link
a
and he got
moment to be
bombed.
like, yeah, no, we're gonna jump right into this. Now we're on a bacon
No.
maple Pop-Tart.
Friend
All right.
down.
This is
These
important.
magical
This is
Pop-Tarts taste like breakfast made on the griddle. Oh my god, it's amazing.
Crendor, you should be good. Go ahead and link that shit.
Ugh.
Oh, this is amazing.
Oh my god.
I think the only thing I can complain about these Pop-Tarts is there's only eight in a box.
That's
how
too
do you
many.
have
That's
only
too
eight?
many Pop-Tarts. I'm gonna let you guys know now.
Maple bacon.
I do not want your sponsor Pop-Tarts. I'm not a fan.
I'll take the sponsorship only if you exclusively send Jesse maple bacon Pop-Tarts.
Yes.
Maple bacon and pink lemonade Pop-Tarts.
No,
Absolutely.
I'd rather
Make it
look.
I like the blueberry ones.
Dear local donut shop, if you want to send me maple bacon donuts.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right.
This reminds
So,
me of that one thing where it's like, make it bacon.
Make it
Yeah,
I don't like maple bacon. I like salty, savory flavors. I'm not.
Making pancakes.
What's that fast food documentary thing?
Super Size Me?
Yeah,
Super
they talked
Size
to those
Me, yeah.
two guys. The one guy's just like, make it
What?
bacon.
Can I tell you something really quick? There's a restaurant that just opened up that serves alcoholic breakfast food. Like
Oh,
it's like a bar that only serves breakfast food. And one of the things on the menu, straight up, is a tower of bacon. And it's a cup, and instead of French fries, it's like maple glazed something candied bacon.
Yeah.
Oh my
That
God.
shit
Yes.
will literally kill you.
Yeah, no,
Don't
I've been
care.
to bars like bacon like that at the bar is like, instead of like a bowl of peanuts, it's like strips of bacon sitting.
Yes.
Oh my
What is-
god.
hipsters, God bless you. You know what? I give you so much crap, but you finally turned it around. You worked your magic, and you've done some good work this day. You can get alcoholic breakfast cereal milk. So there's like a Fruit Loops one and like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it's like with alcohol. It'll mess you up. But
We gotta
bless
go
you,
there. I
hipsters,
gotta
for
film
your
it.
weird.
Come on,
crap
man. It's
that
not
you sell.
hipsters. It's us. It's the millennials. The millennials did it.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no,
gonna
I'm
blame millennials for anything.
Put like Cointreau
We're all
on your
millennials.
I
Put
know.
your Cointreau on your
I know.
pancakes is something grandma and great grandma did. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
her
yeah.
husband didn't know she was getting slosh. It's okay. So,
Getting
Yeah, bring
slizzard.
it back.
oh, jeez. Oh, that's funny. All right.
All right. Now I want maple bacon Pop-Tarts and pink lemonade Pop-Tarts because I
Dude.
need to like taste them to
Yeah, I know.
understand.
No. This is a
Ugh.
Jurassic Park situation. Just because they could doesn't mean they should.
Have you ever had like the dill pickle potato chips from Pringles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are actually.
And the
That's
like
different.
and
That's
the
different.
the
That's like a
cheeseburger
spice.
Pringles? Wait, what? I mean, I guess.
I mean, I've never.
That's
just-
that's like a fake shit sprinkled on a like potato that's already fine. Like this is different. This is already horrible dough, whatever it's made out of,
Yeah.
injected with fake goo, and then covered in another layer of fake goo. Like it's
Yeah.
not. None of this is natural, and I would
sprinkled with fake bacon.
not. Yeah. At
Oh,
least with
dude,
potato chip,
then you
can't
take-
screw up the potato.
Nah, dude. Then you take real bacon, you put it on top, and you put it in the oven just to crisp it up and warm up the
Ooh.
Pop-Tart.
It's like when you wrap your turkey in like a.
Yeah, there you go. But you do it in a Pop-Tart that's also
Oh,
bacon
yes.
flavored.
There's someone
Yes.
watching outside of America right now who's like, "Fuck these guys.
Die.
They're the worst."
Americans.
I would try like a Pop Tart that wasn't like a sweet flavored Pop Tart. That'd be interesting.
You know
Like a
what you
salted
love?
savory Pop Tart.
There's a place in LA that their breakfast menu is like a homemade Pop-Tart, and it's a place called Cannibal, and so everything's meat related, and it's a
That sounds good.
something bacon Pop-Tart that's like a real fresh made one. Spoiler, still a Pop-Tart. Pop-Tarts are gross. So
Still a disgusting Pop-Tart.
yeah, still a gross Pop-Tart.
I like Pop Tarts, but I only like specific flavors like cinnamon or blueberry or raspberry. Like that's it. Anything else, I'm like, no thanks.
Cinnamon is like the one I can tolerate.
Those are like sand.
It's bread and cinnamon. How do you screw it up?
Sand?
Right.
It tastes like sand. Get out of here, Crandor.
Crandor?
No, I said those are standard. I didn't say
Oh,
Sand.
yeah.
Oh, this is sand. I was like, what? No,
Yeah.
I'm just-
It did sound like you
It
said
did sound
sand. I was
Those
like,
are sand. Those
I
are
love
sand in my
sand.
tongue.
I love sand on Pop-Tarts.
You're like the reverse Anakin. I love sand.
I want it everywhere. And all
Between my
of,
toes, everywhere.
it gets everywhere, and I love it.
Padme, if I told you how much I love sand,
If only he loved sand, he wouldn't be evil.
he would be fine. That kid would have been fine if he just loved sand.
Why didn't they just take sand to Darth Vader and just throw it at him?
It'd get in his suit. It would get in his suit, and it would just. He'd just freak
everywhere.
out. We would make him more angry and therefore more powerful, though.
Yeah.
What if it was his weakness?
what? Is he like Grommen? He like goes rage mode?
Yeah, no, that's how the dark side is fueled, man. I went into this super deep Star Wars hole like 3 days ago. I went I was like in theory land of like what is going on in the movie universe.
Episode 8.
Episode 8, episode 9, how episode 9 is maybe going to end, and like all the hints and everything, and then like it went into the cartoons and like all the story bits they've dropped in the
Yo,
cartoons.
If you
Oh
want
my
a
God.
real deep dive into like the lore, go read the Star Wars Vader comics.
I've heard they're amazing.
First off, besides introducing the character Dr. Aphra, which is like the best character in Star Wars right now, they also make Darth Vader not only a badass, but also give him like comic moments. That there's one moment where he and I think Aphra are on Tatooine, and like Vader's just staring out, and she's just talking about this like shitty planet, and like, God, whoever lived here must have been an ass. Like this place is shit, and Vader's just like, yeah. Like, it's such a good moment. It's fantastic. The writing, I think it just ended, so the story arc's done.
I'm gonna have to
But, like,
read
go
that.
pick up the Darth Vader one. It's
I've heard the Darth Vader comic is amazing. I just started doing Clone Wars stuff from the cartoon, but like
Yo,
I'm doing
that's
like,
off of Netflix in a month, so
oh shit. Well, that's where I
We
started
watched
watching
all-
it.
So I've gone through the first 2 seasons, and then I was like, "This is such garbage. I can't do this anymore."
I
And
will
then
say
it
this:
was-
the same
It
thing.
was told it's better after the first 2 seasons.
The same thing is it happens with Rebels.
Yeah, Rebels. I
First
hear
2
it gets-
seasons of Clone Wars are hot garbage. There's maybe
Yeah.
like 1 or 2 episodes that are good. Season 3 really picks up. I mean, still a lot of hot garbage, but it picks up better. 4 is like, all right. 5 is like, all right. And then they cut the series. They like series over. And you're like, what? And then they give you 6 episodes that kind of wrap up Clone Wars, and they're all kind of okay. You get 2 really good ones at the end with Yoda, which are like,
Yeah.
like it explains everything.
There's
You're
like there's like an
"Whoa."
official machete order to watch that series. That's what I'm doing right now. Like
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
what you should
definitely
watch it
do
in
that.
this order, and you'll get all the stories you need.
Yeah, but Rebels is like season 1 is.
Well, season 3 is Thrawn.
Yeah, season 1 of Rebels is terrible. Season 2, suddenly they realized like we could actually make a good show. So season 2, episode 1 is literally a 2-parter with Darth Vader kicking the shit out of everyone, and then the end of that season is like the most epic 3-way Jedi duel plus Darth Vader versus Ahsoka Tano and like a fucking like it's the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life. And then season 3 they're like, and now Grand Admiral Thrawn's back. You're like, what? It's happening. It's so good. They're on point. They've nailed it. So you got to get on those things.
Oh, I am.
Although Rebels, unfortunately, unless you have a cable package, you literally cannot find it to watch it anywhere.
Oh,
Unless
that
you
sucks.
illegal that thing, in which case, I didn't tell you to do it, but you should do it. So,
Deal. All right. That was fun. Scott,
jumping right into it.
let's just do it from Star Wars to Star Wars, man. Let's fucking just do it.
Well, that's a weird jump.
What? I know it's a really weird jump. So what happened last session, which was about 2 weeks ago? Where did we leave off? It was, I remember being a crazy session. It was an epic session.
Where we left off was
Give us a
Werbo.
recap.
Werbo jumping on the back of a giant droid and hacking away at it with an axe as this thing's blasting the hell out of shit with heavy repeaters and whatnot. So what happened was you guys had gone to this planet. You had to go and pick up this guy. He was one of the prisoners. Brendo tried to race to win. The race didn't end up the way he wanted it to. He did well, but he lost. And so you chose to bust this guy out instead. That didn't go as well as Nareem had hoped. She was hoping for maybe like a diplomatic thing or worst case scenario, just kind of like leave it be. Instead, you guys killed everybody, everyone. And you went around the place, blasting the whole place up, hacking into systems. Finally get the guy, break your way out of there. As I said, there's that big epic fight scene with the AC-80 droid at the end. I want to make sure I'm saying the name right. RC-80 droid at the ends there. And after finally like hacking this thing apart, you guys decide to like throw a rope around here to like push it onto the ship. And then you get on the ship, it takes off, you start to fly away. As you're flying away, you're being pursued. You have a patrol ship. So a fire spray patrol ship. There are 2 others that are pursuing you and trying to enter into a dogfight with you. Nareem is doing the best she can to try to pilot this thing to save the day. She's just simply not as good of a pilot as poor Krendor is, but 420 had been dropped. And she did the best she could, but ended up needing a little bit of assistance from the gentleman that you had saved. He was a Bothan by the name of Nag. Nag was able to hack into their security systems and more or less autopilot their ships back to the base, which was gave you the opportunity to get away. As you're trying to plot the course, he was like, no, and taught you guys, like, okay, if you're trying not to be tracked, jump around several ways. And now you're gone, and you're going for a long distance. And I can tell you that this trek is going to be a long one. Looking at the astrogation charts, I don't remember who it was that was looking at them beforehand. I believe it was Fitz.
I think so.
He was able to see that the journey ahead of you is going to be about a month long to finally get to the destination you're looking to get to. So you're going to be on this ship for a considerable amount of time. The fun part about that is the amount of supplies that you have is literally is enough for eating normally for 3 people to be on the ship and eating. However, there are now 4 people on the ship, because 5 technically with Krendor, but he's not a person. No offense.
Yeah.
So you guys are probably gonna have to ration out foods and whatnot on your to get there. But either way, so it picked up with Maggie was flying the ship, Nareem was flying the ship. Astrogation had taken over. She was just kind of like sitting there and watching it autopilot, absorbing the situation as she blasted through people, stunning, not killing. And Fitz was working on the computer system. I believe he was going down to fix 420.
Yep, that was my next stop.
Werbo was very satisfied with how he had had combat. I'm not sure if he was going down to do a line or not. But
He smokes. He doesn't do a line. He smokes.
sure, yeah. You know, there's different strokes. You know. So Werbo, I don't know if he was sitting down to smoke or if he was still trying to see if there was any way he could be helpful at this point. Werbo.
I mean, I don't know. Am I muted?
Nope, I
No,
can hear
we can
you.
hear
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
You're muted.
No, you're good.
Shut up, idiot.
What?
Honestly, I don't know what I could do. Like, I mean, can I buff someone else's actions? Because I don't know that I can help in this situation.
So that's one of the fun things about Fantasy Flight games is if you yourself are not skilled at a task, whenever somebody else is doing a task, assuming it's feasible that you can assist, you can give them a blue die whenever they're rolling.
Right,
So-
yeah, I'd rather do that. I'd rather blue die someone than screw something up at this point.
No, that's cool. I just I'm curious, like, is a month is going to pass. We're not going to go through the entire month day by day. That'd be
Right.
boring as hell. But Werbo, does he generally kind of keep to himself and go off to the side, or does he like help out with whatever?
No, I mean, if you're just talking like role play stuff, yeah, Werbo just sort of does his own thing, and it usually involves drugs and like sitting around and staring at people. And if heavy things need lifting, he heavy lifts, and if they don't, he doesn't. And any other time, he just doesn't really mess with people unless they mess with him. Like, that's his whole attitude. And I imagine this is the kind of role play that allows me to still do drugs but not use up my drug allowance.
Jesse, can you turn your mic up just a little bit? Possible?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so so you sound like that friend that's just going to sit on the couch while everybody else is taking care of like the work.
Yeah,
that needs
yeah,
to be
yeah.
done?
I'm not only the friend who says we should order pizza and doesn't pay, but I'm also the friend who, once you've ordered pizza, grabs a slice, takes a bite, and then says, "Can I have this?" I'm also that friend. Yeah.
All right, so last question with Werbo. I mean, we never really defined this, and it doesn't need to be hard to find right now. But how often does he actually partake? You know, how often does he use his drug?
Oh,
'Cause
when he's
doses-
activity is what keeps him away from drugs. But when he's bored, it's like his bored thing.
Oh.
Like, I got nothing better to do, so I might as well just, because he's in his downtime when he's not brutalizing people or being a badass, he is constantly thinking about the fact that his people are slaves. His family is slaves.
Sad.
Or
So
dead.
he
You never
is-
know.
Yeah, and so his whole
Thank you.
life is a mess,
No problem.
and he does drugs because he's a coward who escaped instead of staying.
We should
So
roll our destiny, by the way.
Yeah. We'll take care of that in just 2 seconds. Don't worry, Mathis. I have not forgotten. So, like I said, it's going to be about a month-long journey. I believe you had 14 doses left. So I imagine near the end of this journey, if not beforehand, you're going to be at a critically low on your supply.
You know what? He doesn't do drugs anymore. Doesn't
He quit his drugs.
he just quit his drugs?
Go cold turkey.
He's like, I gotta change my life.
Can I not be locked in the spaceship for a month-long journey with a Wookiee that's going cold turkey off of
No, because
That sounds horrible.
logistically in a spaceship, I cannot do anything.
Mhm.
Like I serve no purpose in that thing. I can shoot shit, but clearly we're not fighting anything. Other than that, I serve no purpose. So if I can blue dye anyone to make their life easier on a month-long trip, awesome. But the rest is RP shenanigans where I'm just getting high and staring out the window like space, man.
It's so neat.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love it.
So we will roll for that right now, as we were saying right as we get started. I just need Krendor to do me a little favor.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm totally.
Hey, Nareem, thank you. Appreciate it. Ooh,
Oh, good God.
On that.
Oh, my good God.
Yes.
We need you, Krendor. We need
I'm
you now more than
totally-
ever.
In the roll 20.
Yeah, nice of you to show up and just pop into the screen.
Oh, no. That's not good.
5. Man, that's bad news.
Just roll nothing. If you roll nothing, we'll all be happy.
Can you get a nothing?
There's a blank side on the force dice, I think.
I think there's 2 blank sides of the force die.
Interesting.
It's left side. It says a ton of
You're just
money.
going to hit roll destiny next to destiny pool on the left-hand
Oh
side.
yeah, that's what it is.
Thank you. All right.
Oh,
we got a
my
little
God.
something to play with at least.
Okay. Make sure everybody.
420, our savior.
That's right, man.
Saving everyone.
Everyone's saved.
All right, thank you guys. All right, so let's go over. Let's start it up. So we're on the ship. We had escaped danger. So this is not like instantly the next moment. I imagine everybody kind of digests the situation a little bit. You know, Nareem had been to a small degree kind of tricked into wanting to save this guy, or coerced, I should say, into trying to save this guy. Everybody else was just happy to kill people. Especially Fitz. He has that dark edge to him. Actually, he has the light on today. I don't know. No.
What are you talking
Oh yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. Oh. Thank you.
I don't think I've ever seen you with a light on.
I
No, I'm just
know.
kidding.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's Oldham. It's weird.
I know.
He has a filter on to give him kind of like a peach hue, but we all know.
Peach hue.
All right, so after everybody's digested this, 10, 15 minutes have passed. Everyone's digested it. Fitz has gone and done his mechanics check, which you don't have to worry about rolling. Unless you wanted to do anything while 420 was unconscious.
Not right now. My primary, I'm so like do the take a 20, basically take my time and just get him up and running.
And 420 is up and running. Health points at this point doesn't matter. But 420 is up and running. He's kind of like, Roger. And you can quickly explain to him the situation. Again, you guys usually banter back and forth anyways. So you get Krendor up to speed of what had happened. At 420, what had happened. So after a bit, Nareem doesn't really need to be at the controls anymore. It's autopiloting effectively. People just need to check in on it from time to time. She's not stuck there if she doesn't want to be. I didn't know if you had any conversations you want to have, because Nag, as soon as he was done doing that, he kind of came helping out Fitz down there. He came upstairs and he just kind of like was next to you and playing on the console for a bit and just kind of like making sure the astrogation calculations were correct and checking this over there and kind of like mumbling to himself a little bit as he was like playing with a couple of wires into the console, because as you know, oh, look at that service. So as he's, as you know, the console is all sorts of destroyed at the moment. So he's trying to like get wiring to going so this thing is going to function, not crap out on you or overheat while it's astrogating and traveling on light speed. So he's next to you. Go ahead.
I guess that like the conversations that I would have wanted to have were why why are we picking him up and delivering, like, I guess that would be what I'm trying to figure out is why he's here and why we are assigned to grab him.
Here, man.
You guys
That's
didn't even
actually
know.
me.
Yeah.
Wait, man.
You guys didn't even know why I was here picking up. So it's a really good question. So you kind of like lean over and you're just like, so why are we picking you up and where are we bringing you? Is that more or less what you ask?
Yeah.
He goes, because my job there was done and I have another job to do.
And what job is that?
I'm a jailbreak. I suppose be damned. It doesn't really matter at this point anyways.
I think that's pretty obvious.
I work for the directly for the Hutt Ruling Council. They employ me to go from prison to prison and find weaknesses inside the prisons and to then escape the prison without utilizing those weaknesses and report the information back to them so that they have means of getting people out when they need to.
Can I tell if he's telling the truth?
He seems to be pretty blunt about it.
Okay.
Based off of what the magic that only you had seen him do on the console a couple minutes ago, or like a half hour ago, whatever it was, you're inclined to believe him. So he's like,
Okay.
it's good work. Doing greater good for the galaxy. And then he kind of pokes his head back underneath the console and he starts wiring stuff together, trying to get it done. Do you just sit there while he finishes up what he's doing?
I guess I will help him.
Oh, sure. You kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, if you go down there and you help out, Nareem's not particularly good at computers or mechanics, is she?
Not particularly, but not terrible.
He's not.
skilled in it, but
Yeah. I know he's not like a jerk or condescending by any means. Once he realizes that you really just know the basics of what it is that you're doing, he kind of puts you in the role of okay, hand me this. Can you hold that there? And kind of like an assistance role as he finishes doing what he's doing. It doesn't take him long, less than an hour or so. Do you choose to engage any more conversation with him other than maybe, any conversation, or is just relatively silent the entire time?
I'm sure that we talk a little bit, but not anything substantial.
Yeah, nothing substantial. It's kind of like, oh, which Bothan planet you from?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a hairdresser.
And I guess later on, maybe a conversation about, because he tried to blackmail me, right?
Yeah.
So maybe have a little conversation about that, because that's what started this all.
Sure. So how would you start that conversation?
I guess she'd be pretty blunt about it. Something along the lines of I don't even know, man.
So
I'm
you
so
try
tired right now. My brain's shut down. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I'm sorry. Is it literally one of those? So handing him a wrench. You tried to blackmail me, one of those.
Yeah, I think that would be a good way to do it.
As he takes the wrench from you, he nods and says, "I succeeded," and just very matter of factly.
No, you succeeded in convincing other people.
Job is done.
Fair enough, but did you have to go that route?
It was a calculated risk, and it worked in my favor.
So what do you know about my family then?
Oh, nothing. I mean, and he kind of puts the wrench down, and he kind of sits up and squares off with you, and he's like, I don't know your family. I just know the way that you stand, your posture. I heard your accents, the way you form your sentences, the color of your fur, and those that usually are born with it. I know the style of your clothes and the worlds on which it's popular. Your name, I traded it for a meal, and that fool doesn't even know he's going to get a meal. In short, I guessed, I'll be an educated one, and it worked. So, my name's Nag, and he extends his hand out to shake yours.
She extends she accepts and gives him a handshake as well. And she kind of gives him a little wry smile and kind of nods And she's thinking to herself that that's a pretty legit way to get out of there, I suppose.
And he just kind of like nods to that. Doesn't really like smile or anything. Just kind of like nods like, yeah, it worked. And it's kind of like this awkward moment. And you can tell he also knows it's an awkward moment because now like you're not an enemy of his. You're not somebody that he harbors any ill feelings towards. So now he's kind of sitting there like, yep, I used you. And then he's like, awkward moment, and then goes back to what he was working on to finish up getting the console going. So seems as though Marine was kind of just accepting of that.
Yeah. I mean, after he explained like why we are getting him, it kind of makes a little bit more sense with the hut and what was happening with that. She's putting two and two together and she's figuring out what's going on. So it kind of makes sense. And honestly, we could use somebody with his skill set. So
after like he's done working on that with you and everything's kind of up and going, Krendor, what was 420 doing this entire time? Was he kind of like hanging around Fitz, or did he just kind of go up to take over piloting at some point?
Well, who's piloting?
Right now it's on autopilot, but you don't sleep or anything, so I didn't know if you would just kind of be there, so you just kind of take over.
No, I'm just hanging around Fitz then.
Cool. So after a period of time, eventually he kind of like leaves Nareem, like the job is done, and he's kind of like, thanks, like for the assistance. And he gets up and he starts making his way down and going over to where the other console was, where there was like a little bit of repair work that needs to be done. Now, what exactly is Fitz working on at this point? Because the ship is in shambles.
I mean, like, there's a million projects for Fitz to choose at this point. The primary thing he'd focus on is making sure the ship is running well enough to get us to our destination. Mm-hmm. And if everything's, in a stable enough condition, his pet project will start ripping apart the big ass droid that we kidnapped.
Then the first thing I want you to do for me, just to set up this next interaction, could you roll for me a computers check? And because you have 420, are you assisting him 420, or are you just kind of hanging around and talking to him?
Still hanging around.
Okay, so then you can roll for me a computers check, Mathis. Give me 1 second to set those dice for you. And there you go.
Okay.
You're rolling against 3 purple, just so you know.
Yep.
And you succeeded with advantage and everything. That was awesome. So
Beautiful.
Actually, by the time he gets downstairs, that console down there that he was going to go work on next is already complete, and you've moved on to your next project, which if you don't remember, there was a breach in the hull that had happened before. Now, mind you, there was a breach in the hull when you guys were initially breaking free, and then there was a second breach in the hull that had happened when you were in your combat, but you had called a triumph, and were able to... Yeah, we were able to kind of like seal it off. So probably the next thing you're working on. So you're actually out there doing mechanics checks on that when he comes over. So as you're kind of on the other side of the prison, which is opposite of where the console is, he'll kind of come down and go over and like go to pop open the console. And he looks inside there. 420 would probably see him doing this. Kind of poke his head around for a couple moments and be like, huh. And then close it back up and turn over to the two of you and say to Fitz, did you just do this?
I just kind of like throw a hand up with a thumbs up as I'm still working on whatever I'm doing, head down.
Yeah, you're not looking, but 420 can see that he seems to have like a nod of approval for that, like job well done. And he makes his way over to where it is that you're working, and he sees that you're working on the hull of the ship. And so without even saying anything to you, he just kind of like looks at what you're doing for a few moments and then grabs a couple of tools and starts like helping out next to you.
Sure.
Now, I know that Fitz is kind of awkward. Does Fitz engage, like try to start conversation because he's like, there's someone next to me? Or is he just like, okay, I'll just work next to you in silence?
That's pretty much what it is. He just kind of works next to him in silence. He doesn't turn him away, but like if it's easy to work with him, then, we develop a smooth working relationship.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. As a matter of fact, that first day or even 2 days of working side by side with him, you guys have very little conversation that happens because he's somebody that usually works alone. You know what I mean? He's very to himself. He doesn't speak much unless he needs to. And Fitz is kind of awkward. Yeah. So maybe from time to time, Fitz and 420 will have a little bit of banter, but he just kind of like, you can see his little ear.
I mean, it's like super clear that I'm way more comfortable talking to 420 than I am to something that lives and breathes.
Absolutely. So we're going to actually fast forward by a full week wherein, Nareem, if she had any pet projects, whatever it was that she's working on, Werbo is hopefully slowly going through his supply. and helping out. Helping out here and there where he can.
No.
Halfway through the trip, we need to take a stop. Pee break. So, but a week or so later on, so after a good considerable amount of time has passed, you guys have had very, very light conversation, but nothing that's really noteworthy. Eventually, he does kind of turn to you, like when you guys are, I don't know, grabbing a bite to eat. Again, you realize very early on, it's actually probably Nareem that had realized this, because her character is kind of calculated in these kind of things. There's not going to be much food here. I've been traveling with a Wookiee for a long time, and they eat a lot. So, especially when he's high as... while you guys are sitting there and eating at one point in time, he'll actually turn to you and just be like, you seem to know your way around machinery really well.
I'll just nod and be like, yeah.
Almost done repairing the hull of the ship. What are you going to do next?
And then he'll swallow his food and look up and he's like, well, I have about 37 different things I can work on. The ship is about 20% destroyed still. And I have a giant war droid that we kidnapped and I could rip apart and use for upgrades on 420. So, whatever piques my interest.
All right. Well, you know your way around machinery, and these are things that you're doing, and I don't like sitting idly by. What are the other things that you need to do to the ship?
I start just listing things off. Like, the guns are in disarray, the shield is not properly finished, just a bunch of different things that need to get fixed. I mean, out of character, like, those are the only two things I know need some attention, but I'm sure the ship is just like a hunk of crap, so...
Mm-hmm. I know you have other pet projects too. Like one of the things that you're thinking about doing is having, because the consoles are kind of like split right now and all sorts of screwy.
Oh,
you
yeah,
want to rewire the nav computer so it could actually be fully accessed from down
That
below.
too. Mm-hmm.
Upstairs. So, what would you say is your biggest priority there, Mathis, or even the crew? If anybody else has input in this, please feel free to jump in. Before I have you rolling in a second.
I'm trying to think, like, if we're heading into like neutral territory that could be dangerous for us, shields would be important.
Mm-hmm.
But the nav computer being rewired is pretty important.
I mean, I feel like nav is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter where we go, there isn't necessarily neutral space.
That, I mean, yes, that is true.
So being able to navigate around stuff, I feel like is much more important than. There's always the chance we're going to get screwed by something. So let's just know where we're going.
Okay, so nav computer is going to be number one. He's going to assist you with the nav computer, making it, because the two of you are both trained in various ways. Your role is actually going to be with 3 yellows and 1 green to do this rewiring. However, I do know that Nareem and Werbo will be able to assist different peoples. So in doing this, because, I mean, big Wookiee hands are great for handling little funny wires.
I'm just holding like a giant cord, like a wire or tube or something like its purpose, I don't know.
And we'll have 420 just kind of like making sure that navigation doesn't drop out to handle. So he won't actually be assisting. He'll be handling it. So that being said, Mathis, for you to accomplish this task, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a very difficult one for you to do.
Okay.
You're actually going to be rolling against... 2 purple, 2 red, and then because of the condition that everything was in, I'm actually throwing in a black die as well.
This is a mechanics check?
Correct.
All right, that'll get taken out at least.
Sorry, this is a computer's check.
Oh, okay. Computer.
But that's the
check.
3 yellow, 1 green I think you're rolling. Now, because of Nareem and Jesse's assistance, Werbo's assistance, you're going to get 2 blue die thrown in there, boost die.
Enjoy
Okay.
that.
I'll take
Do
it.
you have anything else that you can use to boost this up? Do you have any other circumstances, something on your equipment, something that's lying around that you would like to try to do to boost yourself up before you?
Nah, all my talents really are directly impact mechanics checks. Computers I'm good at just because my character's naturally intelligent, but mechanics is a specialty. So I'm just gonna roll with that. I don't want to use a light side point. I feel like it's not the time. So I'm just gonna roll what I get.
Awesome. I'm going to use a dark side point because it's funny. And
Of course it is.
Damn.
upgrade once.
Damn.
Well, we'll expect failure. You good? Can I roll it? Is everything appropriately taken care of for computers?
Die pool, yep. And let me
Alright.
just check your character sheet because I actually never double checked your character sheets to make sure they're all appropriately set. You are good, and then
Okay.
you can roll while I check everybody else. And I'll see what the result is in a moment.
It's just failure. It is. Oh wait, what?
Woo! That's awesome.
Hold
Oh
on.
no, I
Nice
succeeded!
failure.
Holy crap, I succeeded!
You
Okay.
succeeded.
What?
Jesus
What?
Christ!
You, like,
Not only did I succeed, I had a triumph.
Triumphed? Are you kidding me?
I'm good at one thing, baby. One
Triumphs,
thing.
man. Those triumphs every time.
Are you
Incredible.
So one success, one disadvantage, which you're going to take as.
I'll just take a strain because that'll go away.
Right, of course.
Holy crap.
And one triumph. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
He now can see beyond space and time.
I can see the Matrix.
He can navigate through the matrix.
Wow. Okay,
Beautiful.
so, oh god. So so the way I'm going to have this done for you is as you're working on this navigation chart, as everything's happening in here, you're working with him, and you guys build a pretty strong relationship. He actually tends to work more closely.
Goodbye,
side by
Maggie.
side.
Did Maggie blue screen?
Oh no, she's.
Oh god.
He couldn't handle the triumph. She was
I know,
like,
the triumph.
"What?"
She's the villain.
Ah!
All right, we'll just keep going for now. Yeah.
So you would actually work more hand in hand with Werbo, and Maggie would work more hand in hand with him. So him and Maggie make some sort of like basic relationship. They start like becoming familiar with each other, becoming friends. When they're both Bothans deep in space, they have some familiarities. They both come from decent backgrounds, so they become friendly enough that he ends up being. She talks a bit more about how it was that he coerced the family bit out of her, his background. He ends up upgrading the nav computer so it has more accurate and more updated, like more recent charts on it, so you can hit better light speed travel paths. I can't remember what it's called right now. Runs or paths.
Are you talking about like the highways?
Yes, thank you. Oh my God. Yes, the Lightspeed highways. So he upgrades the charts to have a little bit more of those inside there. So it's actually going to be a little bit easier for you guys to do some jumps. And he even plugs in a basic algorithm to make it easier for you to do the little skip before you do long travels. That's what your triumph gets you, and your goddamn success. It makes it so you can easily access the nav computer for both upstairs and downstairs equally, though the upstairs can override the downstairs if need be. It has like a master shutoff switch for the downstairs. That all being said, you were successful. It takes the whole crew a little over a week to accomplish this task, which is a good thing because it helps keep Werbo a little busy.
Lanes, hyperspace lanes. That's what you're looking for.
Hyperspace lanes. Thank you. God, I couldn't think of the word. Sorry. So that brings us to your next pet project, which I think you wanted to work on the shields next. You thought that was the most important thing. So with the shields one, you're actually going to be working with mechanics check.
Okay.
So for the shields part, you're actually not going to be able to use the entire crew. It's going to have to be you, Nag, and one other person you can use to assist with the shields.
What's your mechanics check 420?
I
you
don't
have
think
a good
I
one?
any.
Werbo, yours isn't very good either, right?
No.
Maggie's
Oh
is-
God, I'm terrible.
Okay.
Does anyone have anything besides you? I think
Yeah,
you're
he-
our guy, my dude.
Yeah.
Can I get a blue die if I just have any one of them help me at all, or no?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay, 420 would be the only one I would ask like first. Like 420.
Mechanics.
All right, so let me just double check your skill to see exactly what it is that this guy is providing for you, your mechanics. So he's actually going to give you, wow, you're better than he is.
That's what I'm good
that's
at.
pretty sweet. Yeah, you're really good at it. So with the mechanics, so you're trying to fix the shields. Now remember, you actually rewired the shields beforehand, so if you ever
Yeah.
needed to, you could draw from the prison area and boost up the shields to give you that extra one if you ever needed to. So usually it's 1 and 1. That's 2. Right now it's only 1 total. You can boost it up to a 3rd if you ever needed to, and you can kind of move those back and forth as you need to in combat. Moving on. So to boost up these shields, it's going to be similarly difficult. Where is my die pool? Where it's going to be, there's currently no upgrade. There's 1 black die, 2 red die, and it's 2 purple die. You have 1 person assisting you, giving you 1 blue boost die.
Okay.
However, you're gonna your skill is gonna negate that 1 black die that's happening.
Yep, my talent gets rid of a black die.
Exactly. So this is to fix your shield systems. Is there anything else you can do or anything else that you want to do to try to
No, the talent one of my talents is automatically happening, and then the other talent helps with hull repairs specifically.
Which that's why we
Hull
didn't even
trauma.
roll. Yeah. We didn't even roll for the hull repair because I think you're like 1 or 2 skill levels in that. You're awesome at that. So you are you're good to go. You just succeeded at it.
Okay.
All right. If you are ready, it's all you, buddy.
All right, ready?
You want to use any points?
No,
That's funny. Because I am.
I know. I'm waiting for it. You push the balance in our favor, so that's fine with me.
Ever so slightly. Yay!
There's Maggie's couch.
Well, if we're going back to the couch, we're gonna have to have another Valentine's theme.
Yeah.
Another Valentine's theme. Love show.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Think so. Can you hear me?
We definitely can, Maggie.
You can?
No,
Okay.
I can't hear you.
Absolutely.
Eat
Oh my
shit,
God.
nerd.
Ugh.
Are you trolling me or can you hear me?
No, we can hear you.
No, I can't hear you.
Stop it, Krendor.
So you take the 1 strain.
Yep, I'll just take the strain.
So you were very successful in your endeavor. You were able to repair the shields, get it up to the 2 solid all times, redo the wiring and everything. You're good to go there. However, speaking of love stories, while you guys are crawling through the engine of the ship, trying to fix this part of it, while you're like going down to the little crawl space areas and everything, you open one of the hatch doors and oof, there's a smell in there.
Oh God!
my God.
Did we leave a body to rot?
It is a smell of rotting. It is disgusting.
Who pops this open? Me? I retch. And I immediately shut it. And I just like, Warbo! I got a project for you, man.
But apparently, the moment you call is when I am just finishing up some sweet, sweet spice. So, unfortunately, I am half passed out, so I just can't help you.
I can have this, right?
All right.
I just can't help you.
Oh, jeez.
420.
Yes.
I have a project for you.
Roger.
So you come.
Switch.
So yeah, as you come down, I'm like I have this hatch shut. Like there's a rotting corpse under this hatch, 420. I would like you to move this to the airlock, and I'm gonna get rid of it.
Roger.
Thank you. Just give me a second to leave the room before you open that hatch, and like I scramble up out of the area.
So 420 crawls in there and he grabs the body and he's pulling it out and he's looking at it as he's pulling it out and he realizes actually this body looks familiar. I mean, despite the rotting and whatnot that's been happening for the past few weeks, this is the guy that like was in the bar with Nareem for a while and stuff like that. He's got like different clothes or whatever, but this is the person that she was having that conversation with, and he brings him over to the air hatch, and puts him inside. And do you open it up to release him?
Yep, as long as he's the only thing in the airlock, nothing else is there. Yeah, I get that body.
It's gone.
Wait, blue milk guy?
Blue milk guy.
No.
Hey!
You can't investigate him anymore because Mathis has a weak stomach.
I'm not good with people, man.
So Krendor sees this. It was not seen by what's his name, Fitz at the time. He just kind of like sees that the body's in there, slumped in there, and he goes, oh! He goes out, and then you close it back up, and 420 is like, so interaction. Do either of you say anything?
Do I say anything? No.
Either of you two. It's 420 and
420 can. I don't say anything.
I don't say anything either. I'm just like, whatever. I'm just doing my job.
and he is out the airlock and gone. So
Whatever. I'm doing my job.
Mathis lights a few matches, flowers, and then he goes crawling back in there. Sorry, Fitz, and crawling back in there and starts getting the job done, working on it. You do eventually get the shields up and running, as I had said, and it's all good to go. At this point in time, your food supplies are running pretty low. And everybody kind of like comes to realize this. Again, I believe Nareem would be the one that would probably notice this first. She seems like the kind of person that would just double check things. Am I wrong, Maggie?
No, totally.
So So yeah, you would see this and you kind of like mention it to everybody else, and so after like a quick conversation, you guys decide to, instead of stopping at exactly the coordinates that you're originally going to go to, you're going to stop at a planet a little bit before there. So you do have to stretch a little bit more, but at least you'll be nearby. You'll be able to resupply at a planet nearby. This does leave about a week, a little under a week left for Fitz to start working on one of his pet projects.
Sweet.
You got the shields up, you got that running, you fix the hull. There are other things that you're worried about, like say the gunnery. There's no, like the guns aren't.
Oh, then the guns don't work. I need to fix those before pet projects.
So what is your plan with doing the guns?
I need them to work.
Discussed prior really quickly. I didn't know if you wanted to stick with that or.
I don't remember what we talked about.
So right now, the way that the ship is designed, the Fire Spray patrol craft.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be one person sits in a seat upstairs, and that one person by themselves can control absolutely everything on the ship: navigation, piloting, gunnery, everything.
Okay.
But if you wanted to, you can set astrogation on the next level down, so somebody else can handle that while a pilot was piloting, right?
Yeah.
Make it a little easier. And then you could theoretically install it so gunnery can be down in the bottom floor where you had already ripped out the wires and plugged them into 420. So in theory, a third person can do gunnery at the same time.
Sure.
And the reason why we're even contemplating that is because Werbo has a pretty good gunnery.
I do.
Yep,
Yeah.
that works for me.
So you have wires sitting around that connect to guns. They're no longer connected to the console up there. How do you intend to connect these wires to something? What are you going to use?
I would need another terminal or targeting system. Then would I not?
You would, yeah. You need to have something,
And
to
there's,
get this going.
I mean, does our little kidnapped droid have something I can rip out and use as like a targeting?
This thing's like a tank. It has a whole bunch of targeting software inside there. It has a nice big chamber. I mean, they're generally speaking, they're unmanned droids, but they tend to have like a little bit of a housing area inside them too.
I mean, I could gut it, and use that.
So you want to try to like clear out the hull, take aside anything that you maybe would be able to use for pet projects onto the side, put up with your stash of stuff that's currently in the prison area, and try to like build almost like a going to like watching the Millennium Falcon where they're kind of sitting in the thing and but using,
or just like a screen or something, like just something that he can use as a gunning something that he can just like use as a screen and move things around.
So this is kind of a hefty project because
I'm sure it's going to take a while.
Yeah. So the first thing that you're going to want to do, did you want to get at least the guns up and running to some degree first before you started worrying about emptying the hull?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, so probably your best bet is to reconnect the wires to where they were beforehand. This is going to be a combination of mechanics and computers. It's not as difficult as last time. You're wiring it back to the way it was.
Okay.
So because you're dealing with weaponry equipment, we're going to allow Jesse to assist you with that blue. Okay. And upstairs we'll have Nareem assisting you with Nag. So once again, you have 3 yellow and 1 green is what you're rolling. Let me just say
it's mechanics.
You're going to do mechanics first. I'm sorry. 3 yellow, 1 green. Yes. 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 And you're going to ignore that 1 black, but give me 1 second, sir. So instead of 2 purple, 2 red, it's going to be 2 purple, 1 red. So it's actually easier. And I am not dark siding this one.
All right. Here we go.
Wait.
Oh, okay.
You get 1 more blue die, so.
Oh, can I just roll the blue die?
Yep. Do me a favor. Roll that 1 blue die. Give me 1 second to clear out everything else, and I'll let you do that because that might be the difference between success and failure. Go.
There you go. It was a success.
And then roll me your computers now. Again, 3 yellow, 1 green.
Ready?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
And you do have the black die that's applied. You can roll at any point in time.
There you go. Done.
Success again. Perfect. So at least you have it being controlled upstairs again, and then we can worry about the clearing out the thing later on. You start doing that. But now we're finally landed. We've gone through this travel. It's been a long time. You got a bunch of pet projects done. The ship is not looking so pathetic. Yay. And you guys are going to come landing.
Can I mention some stuff that Nareem would do?
Please. Yeah, absolutely.
I think also like something that I think she would be doing is like studying up on like the location that she's going to. I don't know if it's just kind of like meditating and thinking about all the stuff that she knows knowledge-wise. Just kind of like trying to recoup that because she's,
I'm sorry, you're talking about so where it is that the ship is astrogating to, trying to figure it out what it is you know about that location.
Yeah.
Awesome, go right ahead. You roll your knowledge check for me. It is 1 second. Technically where is that planet?
the xenology.
This one is not an outer rim; it's an inner rim one. So,
Like
one
core worlds.
You can actually, because it's on the inner rim, you can use core worlds or outer rim. Either one of those would work equally. And then you can do a xenology if you learn anything about it. The planet, just so you know, Maggie, is named Hijado.
Okay.
Love Hedjado. It's classic Star Wars.
Nice.
Hey!
And then a xenology, you said?
Please and thank you.
Did it roll?
Nope.
Xenology?
I don't think it did. I'll click it again. There we go.
Failure.
Okay.
But an advantage.
Oh, you know why, Maggie? I'm so sorry. You were rolling against way too difficult. Could you do me a favor? Could you roll again one more time for that xenology? And you're good to go.
Okay.
I was so set for Mathis.
I like the other one better.
She had way more dice than the other one.
Way more better.
Way more better. Okay, so the planet's name is Hijado. You know, the people there are called Hijoans. Hijadoans. And that's pretty much all you know, because either way it was a failure. That's pretty much all you know about the planet. I assume you're just going to take the... Actually, there's no strain or anything, so you don't have to worry about anything. So you're good to go. What you know about the planet is that it is... because it happens to land on one of the trade routes, there is a decent amount of trade that comes through here. What is it near that you guys might know? Yeah, no, nothing really noteworthy. It's on one of the lanes that heads you straight into the core, of the galaxy if you wanted to go there, but nothing really noteworthy. So it's just it's on the lane, so there's a lot of trade that will happen here. Okay.
Okay.
Do I know what kind of trade is like their primary? Or maybe what is not? Like what is the in-demand item?
Mm-hmm. There is actually, it doesn't seem to have any major imports or exports. You know that the nearby planets tend to be more mining planets, so that they will tend to, trade deals will happen like mining planets going on non-star routes, lanes, going on non-hyper lanes will come here to kind of like make their deals and then sell stuff out. So it'll be handling the commerce of other systems nearby or other planets nearby. So it's more of like a middleman planet than it is actually producing and selling their own products. Okay.
Okay.
So you guys finally get there. You lands there. You don't have to worry about any crazy landing. 420 does it no problem. He does not land anywhere dangerous. He has learned. And you guys come to this planet. Now, it is breathable and perfectly fine for humans. And immediately after landing on the planet and the doors open up looking around, you see, of course, there's a plethora of peoples around, but most of them are, in fact, human peoples. So one of the things that you do see here almost immediately is, so you guys got to get out, you land the ship, go to stretch your legs, finally get out of the place. You do see that there's an imperial presence. It makes itself known almost immediately. Now, it doesn't look like one of those, oh, they control everything. This is an imperial run planet. But there's obviously a presence here. Every once in a while, there's like a flag over in one area over a building, or you see a few stormtroopers walking around here and there. But it does not look like as though they control this planet. They just have a presence here. When you guys land here, you know that there's a bunch of stuff that you want to do. One, you want to restock on supplies. Very easy. We're not even going to roll for that. Two, you might want to upgrade some of your own personal equipment. Some of you guys have money or things that you can sell off of the ship to do so. And three, Werbo needs some drugs.
True.
It's
That's
no
true.
doubt. We'll do that after a break, I think. I think landing on a planet's a good place to take it. First hour is done. The second hour will start soon. Don't go anywhere. Grab a drink, go to the bathroom, and we'll be right back.